What's up, guys? MiniWarGamer Dave here from MiniWarGaming.com. As you can see, the club is nice and empty behind me, and we're done with the sale, which means that we can get back to doing some of the fun stuff that you guys have been waiting for. And what do I mean when I say that? Well, this is your tutorial on molds from herstarts.com. And Fireman Tim, our veteran terrain builder, is going to show us how to do that.
Hey kiddies, welcome to Casting 101. So here I have before me 3 nice Herstart molds. I have this one here is 1-inch square floor bases, kind of like for making Dungeons and Dragons terrain. This one here is the Wizard's Tower mold, so it's got blocks and stuff. You can make nice castle pieces. And this is a Dungeons accessory mold where it's got some doors, it has a chest, and it has a bunch of planks and little accessories, 4 pieces of stone just to make your dungeon look that much better. And today we're using #1 Colombian brand Hydrocoal. Oh man, this stuff flew in this morning. You should see the guy who was carrying it. He didn't survive. Got some water and marked off a little line on my cup there, just so I know. That's just trial and error figuring out how much water I would need to fill 3 molds. And got a cup full of Hydrocal. Got my little handy dandy egg timer that tells me when I need to scrape the mold. Got my 4-inch scraper. And I got my spoon, just in case I get hungry. So we'll start with putting the plaster into the water. And this is kind of an art in itself to get the right mixture. So you just start sprinkling a bit in, let it sink to the bottom. Sprinkle, sprinkle. As you see, it goes right down to the bottom. Some bubbles come up every so often. Keep sprinkling it. You sprinkle it just so all the plaster gets absorbed by the water. We don't have big lumps and clumps down there, which are just going to slow us down. And when you get to the end, you'll see why. Because usually you pre-measure, they say, oh, you have 2 parts plaster to 1 part water. You can never really get that exactly right. But this is a much more accurate method to get a nice, better mix of plaster and water. Eventually, you get to the top. And you see that? See those cracks? Looks like cracked earth? That's what we want to have. And there's just a few more little pools of water here and there we want to soak up. When it gets to that point, we know we've got just enough plaster in there. So that's perfect right there. Those little cracks you can see right there. Water. Okay, now we're ready to stir. And bang, you see those bubbles coming to the surface? Watch, just bang it. There's bubbles coming up. You want all those bubbles out of the plaster. Keep stirring, get all the lumps out. So you're looking about 15 minutes to do a mold, and usually you can do anywhere from 3 to 4 at a time. Now the thing is here, I should have soaked these with wet water. I talked about before, water and jet dry. You can mist it on, you can soak them right into a solution of that, and it breaks the surface tension down so all the plaster goes into all the corners. Now I don't have it with me here today, so I'm just going to pour it straight the way it is. So I may get bubbles, but at any rate, you'd want to soak that or at least spritz it with some wet water solution. So now as I've got my table here, just take a moment to show you that. Underneath, I have glued on some sponge pads. That's just to absorb the shock when I hammer it. Unfortunately, I'm going to be banging the table here with all of our painters around, so be warned, guys. So I get this poured before. I got my molds ready. With one hand, and I got the cup. In the other hand, I'm pounding the table like that. And I just start to pour it into the molds. And then when I'm banging the table like that, it's forcing the bubbles up to the surface. Okay, so that one's filled. I probably got enough just to do a little bit on here, so I'll do one of these doors. Chest, columns. Should obviously gonna need a little bit more, because I think this mold here ate up most of my plaster, because it's one of those brick molds. It's very hungry. Scrape it with the spoon. Just get some last bits of it out. Give it a good hammer again. Okay, so hopefully all those bubbles are coming to the surface now. Set my timer for 5 minutes. And when that goes ding, we'll scrape. Kirsten Dunst. Yes, I'm Spider-Man. I don't want to work today, Matt. Dave's cheating. Hey guys, welcome back. Woo! It's done. It's only been an hour, but they're ready just to pop out here. I can see they've kind of even sealed on there. Really easy to pop out. Just flex the mold. Out they come. And surprise, surprise, not too many bubbles. At least I don't see any of them. And there we go. That's how it works. Just like little candies, little beautiful terrain candies. As you can see, you're gonna let them dry for about 24 hours to get all the water out of them. You can stick them in the oven. See, this one's got some bubbles in it. Again, that's because I didn't use the jet dry solution. So that's just as simple as that, kids. So go buy your Herstart molds, get yourself some plaster, start making terrain.
The force is strong in you, young Emma, but you're not a Warhammer master yet.
Warhammer balls.
Is that a shotgun? It's supposed to be a lightsaber. Emma. Oh!
Oh yeah!
Oh.
Yeah! Oh yeah!